just a little bit of background about me. No stranger to Angela. We've been church members for quite a long time, friends. I really was touched by just learning about what she was doing and the way that she is giving back and sharing. It took a while for me to get comfortable talking about what I went through. And I've gone through a number of things in my life. And I think those things that I went through earlier in life prepared me for like the toughest time and the toughest thing that I've ever had to deal with. So I'll fast track it so I'm not up here forever. But in the fall of 2014, I started having extremely blurry vision in one of my eyes. I've been diabetic since I was a little boy, since I was like 12. I was never a little boy, just to say that. I'm probably smaller now than I was then. But so I started having this blurry vision. They said it was due to diabetic retinal inflammation. I didn't believe that. I took very good care of myself, worked out, up to ill and ill. I was in the best shape of my life at the time. I was 29 years old. But the doctor says, yeah, this issue, you got to deal with it, right? So I go to the doctor, they do a procedure to fix the issue with my left eye, and a preventative procedure on my right eye, and a preventative procedure on my left eye. Over the span of the next month and a half, I slowly but surely started losing my sight until I woke up December 29th, 2014, a few days before New Year's, and I was totally blind. My girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife, took me to the eye doctor I'd been seeing. They said, this shouldn't have happened. We don't know what's going on, but there's definitely got to be something going on with your blood because the issues that you had were very, they weren't severe at all. And he was right. I had leukemia, and the way that I found out I had leukemia was by it in my sight. It didn't make sense to me, but the way my oncologist explained it to me at that time was, I was again bill of health on paper. The way I look, I was in great shape. So the leukemia was starving my body of nutrients. And the way that your blood vessels work in your eyes, they repair, but they leak. And so you'll never have blood vessels in your eyes that repair themselves to the point where they will work normally. That's why diabetics have the issues they have with their sight, because when your blood vessels start leaking in your eyes and they try to repair themselves, they try to grow new blood vessels, they're not strong, so they start to leak blood, people start to lose their sight. So it was a similar circumstance that got confused with a condition I already had. So as you can imagine, it took me down through there. To be somebody who was quite on, very, very outgoing, kind of all over the place, I would say, as far as my personal life and leisure life, having a good time, world-renowned relationship. I was working in the mayor's office at the time, had a good job opportunities in grad school. I felt like I was like almost at the mountaintop. And then to kind of look back, I had overcome a number of things. Obviously, dealing with diabetes for most of my life, it never held me back. But I did have some moments in my life where, I had some serious scares, because I dealt more with low blood sugars than anything. My mom passed away when I was in high school. And my mama was my biggest fan, biggest cheerleader. She had 3 boys. My mama was the loudest person at the football and baseball. When I say she was so loud, it was embarrassing at times. But those cheers, and I still hear them to this day. She's been gone 22 years this month. My best friend was shot and killed on the University of Memphis campus. University of Memphis football player was robbed, shot and killed. Have to go through that. Just a number of things that I've gone through in my life. And then I get to this point where I lose my health. I kind of lose my way in life. I'm having to just hope that there's more. And luckily, as you can see to this day, there was more. But to say I went through depression is kind of an understatement. I went through extreme suicidal thoughts. And and I share that in my story. Not probably it's not as deep as I would have had some other circumstances not happened, but I unfortunately had to find out the way that life works in probably the most devastating way. But the silver lining is that all of the things that I've dealt with, especially my health circumstances, I've had so much support in my life. And what I realized is that God gave me people. In my lowest time, people had to literally prop me up. There were points in times where, going through promotions, and even further, just angry at God, angry at the world, angry that people are able to continue to do what they do, and I'm sitting at home laying face down for 18 hours a day, so my retinas don't really detach. I've had 17 eye surgeries and procedures over the last 10 years. I actually have another one coming up. I dealt with most of them the first 3 years. And since then, I keep having these kind of preventative procedures just to make sure things are okay. When I started to get some sight back, it was 7 months later. And when I got the sight back, initially I'm excited. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is really great. And then I realized I don't like the cuss. I was like, that shit sucked. Like, it was terrible. It was trash. And I was even more devastated. But I had to eventually get to a point, and it took some situations that I won't go too deep into, for me to realize that the reason why I'm not getting any better is not because of this, it's because of this and this. I wasn't willing to move forward because I wanted back the life that I made for myself. I worked on this shit. I wanted God to give me what I wanted. As we know, life don't work like that. And I finally had to say, look, I have to either accept the challenge, keep moving forward, or this is gonna get even worse. I can't live like this. I didn't want to live like that. Not where I was meant to be. But I was gonna have to learn how to live like this and deal with leukemia. I'm dying again. The diabetes has never been a really big issue, but I look like a bionic man now, pump, sensor. I have some other things that you really can't see. I finally put foot to the pavement and started moving forward, baby steps, one step at a time. And there was a moment, and I'll share this and then I'll kind of close it out. I got to that point where I said, I'm going to start moving forward. I'm gonna start searching. I know I wasn't gonna just stop being mad at God, but I wanted to seek Him because I never thought He didn't exist. I just didn't like what He did. And so I remember getting cleared to finally go back and work out. I had been out of the gym for almost a year at this time, and that was a big release for me. Music also, but my physical fitness and things of that nature really helped me continue to propel myself forward in life because look good, feel good. It's all connected, right? So now I'm back in the gym. And so the gym was literally like not even a mile from my house, like maybe 0.8 miles. And I remember my wife, my girlfriend at the time, dropping me off. She's going to take care of stuff. I got done my workout long before she was done. And I was like, now I feel stuck because now I'm like, I can't walk home. I can barely damn see the road, right? And I can remember just thinking like, can you do this? And listening to music in my headphones, and finally I got to the point where I said, I'm not about to keep holding myself back. I gotta just start feeling forward. I said, I'm gonna try this. Lord willing, I don't get hit by a car on the way home because there's no sidewalks and it's kind of a tedious area of town. I live out in Antioch, so you in Antioch Pike don't have any sidewalks. But I said, I'm gonna try this. I walked down the hill from Planet Fitness. Yeah, so I live right down the hill from Planet Fitness. Walk down the hill. I don't live there anymore now. Yeah, I definitely can't walk anywhere where I live now. I live off in the boondocks almost in Antioch. But I made it down the hill and can't see that much further in front of me, but I can see the cars coming close enough to where I just stayed to the side, made sure I didn't get out on the street. I made it home. And that was the moment that I said, I can do this. it ain't gonna be the way that I really want to do it, but this, I prove something to myself. So I say grief for me has propelled me forward in a lot of ways. What I've dealt with over the past 10 years, because I'm 40, I just turned 40. What I've dealt with over the past 10 years, I mean, even up until like 6-7 years ago, I did not like this at all. I still was like, God, I know you're in my life, I know you're blessing me, but this shit still sucks. This is still trash. But I'm just gonna keep on living it out, just keep on doing it. But in the past couple of years, I can say like my whole mindset has changed. What used to be something I hated and cursed is now being like a superpower. No matter where I go, if somebody finds out, what I've dealt with, and I've had some interesting conversations and interesting experiences, but they all are like, you went through what, you did what, this happened to you, and you look like this, and I'm like, hell, I do look pretty good for a half damn dead person, right? Like, you know what? Well, I mean, but again, that I joke on myself quite a bit, because I do feel like laughter has been a part of my ability to release some of that anxiety and pain, those tears, but more importantly, kind of just deal with the disappointment and grief. All that to say, I look back now, and I've been blessed, because had I not gone through all these situations, I wouldn't be in front of you all today. I wouldn't have my family. I got 3 kids, 17, 7, and 2. Don't ask me what we was doing. That boy right there is off the chain. I love that. Is my sweet buddy. I call him sweet buddy. As sweet as he can be, because he's a Sour Patch Kid. And my 17-year-old, he's obviously my stepson, and I love him there. He kind of puts us through it sometimes, but he'll be a good kid. And my sweet girl, my 7-year-old, that's my sweet baby. I just think about all the blessings that I had. Had I not gone through this, would I have them? So I think about everything that I've gone through. Think about the grief that I've had to endure. And if I had to do it all again, I get this, I get them, I get the opportunities that I've got to do it 1,000,000 times. I do it 1,000,000 times. Didn't know that when I started dealing with this, but now that I've gone through it and I've overcome it, and I'm still overcoming. This ain't it. Bottom of one mountain, it's the top of one mountain, bottom of the other. I have seen it literally. I get to one thing and I'm like, damn, I got another thing to overcome, another thing. And I'm like, shit, I guess this is the blessing in it. This is the blessing to have these things to continue to help build ourselves up. So, I talk longer than probably I should have. I was on the timer. But thank you for allowing me to share. But
thank you for sharing. So yeah, that's true. I mean, like the reason why you had another mountain is because you had the tools now. You have the muscle, you have the experience, you have the ability to build off of. And it's like when you got through that one, now you can get through this one. And I believe that our experiences are only to help other people. Like, yeah, they grow us, but it's so we can pull each other up, because now we strong. Now we got the muscles to be able to pull somebody up. Like you said, you didn't know that you're gonna have to help an older person get through grief, because you think older people have faced grief. But there are some people who then haven't lost anything, or they don't even attach certain things to grief to know that they've probably been grieving all the time, right? So, yeah, that was powerful. Thank you so much. I try not to held some tears back. So, even though I know your story, I'm like, hey.
You should say, wrap it up.
I know, right? Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up.